Jaya Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, the Jais are Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki,
Jai.
Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai.
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 With that focus, the world is in harmony. And so really it is the case. And we are bringing devotees to their lotus feet. We were bringing devotees to their lotus feet when they're present. And we are trying to bring devotees to their lotus feet now because they are present. They're just not visible.
So,
All right.
Maharaj,
So,
let,
yes.
let me just see about the technical part here because we never done that before.
Yeah, it's not yet happening because we would get an interpretation option.
Ué, no Krishna, eu tinha colocado você já como tradutora na.
Sim, aí você tem que colocar quem é o host, né? Tem uma opção aí que você coloca. Pra mim não aparece, mas tem uma opção de colocar interpretation. Acho
Sim,
que é um
sim, apareceu,
planetinha.
apareceu para mim, mas
Isso.
deveria ter entrado pelo seu e-mail, na verdade.
Eu entrei pelo e-mail,
Tá,
mas aí você tem que me ativar agora.
tá. Ok.
Yes, and Angalata Devidasi, welcome. We call your greeting. Dinabandhu Prabhu outside in Krishna's beautiful nature. Jai. So just so everybody knows, today that we are trying to set up so Anu Krishna Devidasi can do a simultaneous translation. She's been practicing with Sudarshan Krishna and Rai Kishore Devidasi in London. And as a first simultaneous translation practice, that's quite intense. So we hope that we can speak slowly enough that you'll be able to keep on going without too much strain today.
Okay, Maharaj, now it's working. I'll just say it in Portuguese for the people who are coming, for they to know how to proceed. Pessoal, então, para quem chegou agora, hoje a gente tem a tradução simultânea da Anu Krishna Didi, e lá na barra de serviços do Zoom, quem preferir ouvir em português, é só colocar lá e aí vocês vão ouvir a Anu Krishna fazendo a tradução simultânea. Okay, Maharaj, I think we're good to go.
All right. And as I say, please do let me know if I'm speaking too fast or anything like that. And I think you're prepared with some of the subject matter for today, because today we shall soon, not just at the beginning, but we shall soon be coming to one perhaps less read book, but full of gems from His Divine Grace, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and with a foreword by Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj. And that is the Golden Reflections. And we'll come to that in a moment, but we'll first begin with our short but full Vandanam. So we can say together in Sanskrit, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitanscha Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. And we can also chant the Panchatattva mantra and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, so we are happy to be with you in Brazil today, along with devotees from Sweden and Italy, Thailand, South Africa. I would have said Croatia, but I think now south of France means Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, and Latvia. And if I missed out anybody's country, please excuse me. But mainly we are here in Brazil. We've all arrived together. And they have asked that we read from a book, that this is a good thing to do. And definitely it is a good thing to do, because we always want to give Srila Gurudev's words and heart, Srila Guru Maharaj's words and heart also. And really, they both had big hearts, and that is expressed through their words and through their teachings to the devotees. So we'll read something first, and then keep in mind that we've come to Brazil. We do like to hear some news from Brazil. So, Sri Hari Prabhu, would you like someone to share news from Brazil first, or should we do a reading first and then follow on from there?
Well, Maharaj, I believe we can start reading, and then if someone has some questions or comments regarding what's being read, that would be great. That would be like a proper class for us to start with.
All right. Well, first of all, what I would like to do then, if we're going to read from Golden Reflections, is, this isn't the best photo. I took a photo from the screen. This is the cover of the book in the English version. I mean, it's the cover of the book. And it's, to me, it's super sweet, because it is Sri Chaitanya Sarasat Mat, the photograph of the temple before. There you are. There's a better picture coming through from Sri Hari Prabhu. Before the before the Nat Mandir manifest. So in front of there is simply grass. It's an open area. And so when the festivals would take place, they would put up a pandal. And the pandal, I also did not know what a pandal was. A pandal basically is with bamboo structure, and then putting the heavy canvas over the top of it to make, you can say, a hall, or a nat mandir, a hall from bamboo and canvas. So anyhow, this is Sri Chaitanya Sarasat Mat from the 60s, we can consider. 60s, possibly early 70s, but I don't know the exact date. But this book, first of all, it is golden reflections, like in the use, like the golden wedding anniversary, right? Golden wedding anniversary is when somebody's been married for 50 years, and then they have some anniversary. And golden jubilee is golden. It's a year of 50 years celebrating a society or whatever it may be. So this was the golden jubilee year of Sri Chaitanya Sarasat Mat. Srila Guru Maharaj moved into the mat in 1941, and he officially inaugurated the mat on Ratha Yatra Day 1942. But already he was there. But he arranged the gathering of the devotees, and from the thatched hut and the tall bamboo pole with the flag, big flag flying from the top, then made the official inauguration in 1942. So that year of 1941 to 1942 was understood to be the golden jubilee year of Chaitanya Sarasat Mat. And Srila Gurudev, he always was looking for some opportunity, some excuse to give some focus on Guru Maharaj, focus on the mat, focus on the teachings. And so he asked that we can make a publication for the Golden Jubilee year. And so this is that publication. Hare Krishna. So, oh, now it's gone. Now it's got the time instead. So we'll start at the very beginning. Swami is by Swami B.S. Govinda, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Navadip Dham. And that's how either B.S. Govinda, Swami B.S. Govinda, this was for the titles, for the author on the front of a book, this was the traditional way at that time. And we turn the page and turn the page again. And then we've got on the title page what Srila Gurudev always says, the beginning of any publication, the beginning of a letter, we'll always write, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. It should be Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. And then golden reflections, and then here we have the golden jubilee of the founding of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Navadip Dham. Reflections on the mission and its founder, President Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. By the President Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj. Of course, now we would have put Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. At that time, we hadn't realized or understood that Srila Gurudev gave that added title, Dev Goswami, to Guru Maharaj to try to show his particularly exalted position, rather than many people, easily the name Goswami is being given, or Goswami Maharaj. But, I mean, I'm not talking about a person by that name, but this idea of Goswami being used as a title became well used and so didn't stand out. But Guru Maharaj's family was from the special, very special Brahminical standard family, and with deserving of the title, Dev Goswami. And then only presently, one of our knowledgeable sannyasis, he pointed out or said to Gurudev, Gurudev, you are from the similar status, standard of Brahminical family. So is it wrong to use Dev Goswami for yourself also? So Gurudev, had to be honest. He's always honest. And so with his honesty, after some time, then we're also using Dev Goswami for Srila Gurudev. So anyway, there's the beginning of the book. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Kolaganj, P.O. Navadip District, Nadia, West Bengal, PIN 741302, Nadia. And the telephone number is Navadip 85. There you are. And you could only, you wouldn't be able to reach Navadip by telephone at this time, probably. Navadip 85. First printing, 1992. So there we are, 3,000 copies. And all rights reserved by the Sevite President Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Navadip. This was Gurudev's standard, that there is all rights reserved. So we'll go from the editorial, we'll go straight to the foreword. Foreword means words at the beginning, before a book. And this foreword...
Excuse me, Maharaj. I just like to make a comment that I'm sure you are not going to do this, but for those who have already had the book in Portuguese, you're going to notice that the editorial was written by none less than Mahananda Prabhu, Bhakti Ranjan, which I think we all know who is this devotee, right?
I keep learning things about him, and I really wouldn't want to associate him with him from some of the things I learn about him. So maybe we won't publicize that part too much. But then coming to the foreword, this is an excerpt from Srila Guru Maharaj. And he is talking, as we'll find out, about Navadip, the special nature of the place. So foreword by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, founder, president, acharya of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, lest we forget. So, and there's a black and white photo. The photographs did not come out well in this book. And there is some story behind that too. But printing in India at that time was a very tricky matter. And I can maybe relay some stories about the printing presently. But let's get to the subject matter, or the substance of the book. So here is Srila Guru Maharaj. And here it's coming from a spoken talk. But mostly what we have in English is coming from Srila Guru Maharaj's spoken talks. And actually mostly what we have in English of Srila Gurudev is also from his spoken talks. It's not that he's like sat down and written it on a computer and then gone back and reworded and this, that, and the other, and like a thesis, something that the university kids do. Sorry, not kids. The university, above 11 and not a kid, right? Already grown up. Okay. So the university students do. But what Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, what they presented verbally is scripture. And here is some of the scripture coming from Guru Maharaj, his lotus mouth. This Navadip Dham on the banks of the Ganges has such great value, especially for the realization of our highest self, as recommended by Sriman Mahaprabhu. It is the land of love, sweetness, charm, and beauty. All are synonymous. It is heart-capturing. Our real existence is neither in our knowledge nor our power, but in our heart. Really, our proper identification is with our heart. So, in which direction our heart is moving, that is the all-important factor in our life. It is a heart transaction. And some of you may think, yes, Gurudev is always saying it's a heart transaction. Gurudev is giving us Guru Maharaj. Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, was molded by Guru Maharaj. So many expressions that you hear from Guru Maharaj, from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, you are hearing from Gurudev. And this is Gurudev's glory. And in fact, one senior, who is senior and who is junior in the world, that's one matter. But one older sannyasi devotee from the West, after, I don't know, 1 year or so, a couple of years after Srila Gurudev disappeared, means passed away, after Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj passed away, 1 or 2 years afterwards, then one sannyasi from the West, he said to Govinda Maharaj, a little rudely, really, he said, Govinda Maharaj, I'm coming here listening to you, I'm coming again and again, but I'm just hearing what Guru Maharaj told. And, he was saying it in the little bit of a criticizing mood that, you're not giving something else. But Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he understands what the expression is. He understands what's being said to him. And Gurudev, in his humility, said, Maharaj, you are giving me a very good certificate because I only want to give what Guru Maharaj has given, nothing else. So anyhow, there's some heart of Gurudev as well. And that sannyasi was somewhat disarmed, if you like. Very difficult to have very difficult to think somebody knows something, that we know something. Anyway, real Guru Maharaj, again, that last short part, really our proper identification is with the heart. So in which direction our heart is moving, that is the all-important factor in our life. It is a heart transaction. Mahaprabhu recommended, don't rely on your knowledge, reasoning capacity, or power. Don't rely on your knowledge, your reasoning capacity, or your power. But the heart transaction is all important in you. The inner factor of your existence is in your heart. So try to guide your heart towards sweetness, towards home. And your real home is not here, where we are wandering around with no certainty throughout 8,400,000 species, according to our karma. But only in the human birth, with the help of the divine agent, can we go back to our home, to home and affection. So there in Guru Maharaj's words are Mahaprabhu's words. Guru Maharaj is giving us Mahaprabhu. And by the way, you can see there that the word karma is spelt with 2 M's. And maybe in this publication, maybe not, I'm not sure, you'll find that kirtan spelt with 2 T's, whereas the world is accustomed to karma being spelt with 1 M, karma. There's a restaurant near here called the Karma Restaurant. It's a meat restaurant, so I wonder if they really know what they're talking about. Anyway, about karma. But the point is that actually, if you read Bengali, and for many of you who know more than 1 language, it won't be so difficult to read it with a little practice. If you look at the Bengali and look at the Sanskrit, it is double M. But in due course of time, then those who are like setting the standard for the spelling of the transliteration, then in due course of time settled for the Western dictionary definition. Karma is spelled with 1 M. So the standard of transliteration, etc., and transcription, it has gently evolved over time until it basically matured with the later publications. All right, back to Srila Guru Maharaj. And in the English edition, we're just at the bottom of page or V1, called Roman letters. It used to be Vogue also, at the front of the book, until you get to the actual book that you'd have the 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 V like this, but now maybe not so much. Srila Guru Maharaj saying, home is there where the environment will take care of us. Where the environment will take care of us, our fortune and our comfort, independent of our consideration. The affectionate paraphernalia there will help us very affectionately and lovingly. So we should make good use of this opportunity to go back to God, back to home, our sweet, sweet home. This is what we heard day by day from Guru Maharaj. This is what we heard day by day from Gurudev. And those days must be kept in the present for everybody, not only those of us who heard, but those of us who are hearing now. This is their living presence, our Master's living presence. Srila Guru Maharaj saying, Mahaprabhu recommended the path that with the help of the divine agent and the revealed scriptures, try to go there yourself. Your present position is uncertain. After death, it is not fixed where you will be carried by the current of your previous karma. Therefore, try to utilize for the best whatever time is available before your death. You have free will. Therefore, those days before your death are, to some degree, in your hand to use. So that time you must utilize with the utmost care for God realization. And then Srila Guru Maharaj adds his own point. There is nothing so important as this for all of us. Then Srila Guru Maharaj continuing. I'm just checking. Okay, I understand. So Srila Guru Maharaj is continuing. The advice in common for us all is, give up all your duties and jump into the one duty, to go back home. There, everything is full and complete, and everyone will look after your real interest. So you must go there, back to God, back to home. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here only for the purpose of telling us this. Jare deka thare kaha Krishna upadesh. That whoever you meet, talk to him about Krishna. And both parties, the hearer and the speaker, will be benefited. By this cultivation of Krishna consciousness, both parties will be benefited permanently. So only in Krishna consciousness will our time and energy be best utilized. Other things are superficial, but the serving spirit is the deepest part within us. That is the deepest transaction. A transaction with the environment in the deepest plane. And that serving spirit is divided into two. The lower position, in the lower position, it has some calculation, such as, I must do this, I must not do that. For means because I need to attain so many things. Therefore, I need to do this, but not do that. But in the highest section, there is no calculation based on any transaction. There, the sacrifice is so great and so complete, so perfect, and the servitors have such deep connection with the Absolute that they do not care for themselves in the least. Through love and sacrifice, they come to have such a deep connection. Their transaction with the Absolute is all affection, all loving. Okay, so I think we'll stop our reading here at this point, because Srila Guru Maharaj has been basically from different angles, it's stressing to us about our home of sweetness, beauty, charm, love, all of these things, and about our only great necessity is to make that journey homeward, to search out that path, to continue with the help of the scriptures and the sadhus, to adjust the direction of our heart. Guru Maharaj was saying our heart. We need to adjust the direction of our heart, so our heart is looking only upwards to the land which is upwards, is only of dedication and of no other interest for oneself, whether very local or very extended, but it is only for the Lord, and the Lord through his devotees, as we'll come to hear. But everybody knows every book we read at that time, at this time, it is the best book ever. Every page we read is the best page ever. And really what we have already read from Srila Guru Maharaj here, it's the best ever. It's like a strong flame to light our ice-cold candle in our heart, our ice heart, to melt some of that ice that's around the warm, sweet quality of the Jiva soul. The Jiva soul is meant for happiness. The Jiva soul is meant to live in a plane where there is affectionate guardianship. It's not meant for this struggle for existence, competing with one another for food. Maybe at this moment people aren't fighting over food. Well, maybe they are, I don't know. But we are competing with each other only in the plane of helping others. That is the upper world. So anyway, Srila Guru Maharaj has begun this talk by saying about Navadip, this Navadip Dham. And from Navadip, then these highest truths have been given out by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the very beginning of what we read, Srila Guru Maharaj saying, this Navadip Dham on the banks of the Ganges has such great value, especially for the realization of our highest self as recommended by Sriman Mahaprabhu. And then Guru Maharaj has explained the potential of our self, our highest self, not our lower propensities, but the divine. I don't know what everyone thinks divine, what impression comes in the mind, but the perfect home of the heart, which Srila Guru Maharaj using the language to try to express that sweetness, charm, beauty. Oh, well, here it is the land of love, sweetness, charm, and beauty. All are synonymous. It is heart capturing. All right, well, I don't know about Anu Krishna, who is pioneering, doing simultaneous translation, but I'm exhausted after hearing Guru Maharaj's word. Oh yes, having a little, I have a less dignified water bottle. Hare Krishna. Okay, any question from anybody? I mean, is there anything you don't understand after hearing this? Is there anything that is unclear?
Maharaj, I don't know if anyone will have a question now, but this is a point we're always referring back to, and I think it's very important for all of us, especially the ones that are not like full-time living in a temple and serving the deities and things like that with our day-by-day lives, because there is a tendency that I observe that is something like we read about this wonderful goal, and somewhere in the deepest part of our hearts, we want to go there, we want to join the devotees, we are somehow attracted to this higher plane. But there is always this tendency of reading things like, you must offer everything to Krishna and do everything to Krishna, and all the time do your duties and think about doing them for Krishna. But there is this very common tendency of actually doing what we want to do because we want to do that, our false ego wants to do that, and think, I'm doing that for Krishna. But we are actually not. We are doing for ourselves, and we are thinking that we are doing to Krishna just to create some kind of excuse to do what we want to do. And this is something that I'm always coming back to in my personal life, my day-by-day lives, and I think it's it's very important for everyone to consider this, like what Krishna really wants us to do, because it's written and the gurus are explaining that to us like word by word by word, time and time again. And we are reading things that sometimes sound like we are reading the same again, but it's actually never quite the same because it reverberates differently in everyday life. So what Krishna wants us to do is not always what we want to do and say we are doing it because Krishna wants that. I think this is a very important subject for us all to refer to every day.
But if you look in your heart, even by what you express there, you do want to do selflessness, devotional activity. You do want to do that. It's just that in this world we get distracted. Our energy is being drawn in different ways and we are thinking, oh, that will give us happiness. And by the way, most of you, I mean, who here is living in a temple doing deity worship full time? Here you are, you're brahmachari, Leela Moy Prabhu. But otherwise, everybody all over the world, it's not Brazil, it's not any country. You just look at planet Earth and 99%, or what is the percentage? Almost everybody has got their own particular life, but it is under the guidance of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, whose life was entirely that example of 1,000% selflessness, etc. So everybody is living in their particular duties in the world, and then, but with the aspiration for that land of beauty, of sweetness, of charm, all of these things. So we do want that. And so it comes to how we are seeing our daily responsibilities, etc., in this world. And there is something I would like to read to you. And Namapriya Devi Dasi, who I saw was with us somewhere, she is here. She knows what I'm going to read you, because some inspiration for you all, who you can say mostly householders. You're living some life, you've got some job, you've got partner, you've got this, you've got family. And here is something from Saraswati Devi Dasi for yesterday. Yesterday, two devotees got married. And Balaram Prabhu, who you've seen here maybe on the Zoom, but he was here, he's now serving in London. They asked him to come and to give some talk at that wedding, so that he will, because he's a devotee, they're devotees, but there are also family members there, people who are not devotees, etc. And so here is something with Saraswati in London. He, by the way, he asked me, and here's a witness, we asked at the prasadam table here, everybody for their suggestions. Because Balaram is asking, what can I say to them? I've been asked to give a speech. And, usually when we read the kirtans, etc., about, the deep well of family life, samsara, all these things, it's usually a little depressing in a way. So anyway, they were all laughing at the table, coming up with all kinds of things to say at the wedding. But then I advised, by the way, they gave good advice. They said, ask Saraswati, ask Devashishu. They are married, they have their families, they must have some positive input on this. So Saraswati was the winner. And I didn't see if Devashishu actually did give an answer. But this is from Saraswati, and it's short. So what I'll do, I'm just going to put it in the chat so that Anna Krishna Devi Dasi can translate it. There's the chat. Okay, sorry, just 1 second. We are there. So this is what Saraswati gave. She said, maybe something like this, which is softer than what this is in response to my suggestion, which I thought was okay. Anyway, we always think what we do is okay. Anyway, here's Saraswati saying, as a suggestion for Balaram for his speech, today we celebrate not only the union of two people, but the joining of two journeys. In our tradition, success is measured not merely by comfort or prosperity, but by the growth of affection, service, gratitude, and devotion. May your home become a place where kindness is natural, forgiveness is easy, and where each helps the other become their best self. If there is one piece of wisdom that I could offer, it is the teaching of Mahaprabhu to be humble, tolerant, and eager to give respect. These qualities transform a relationship from a partnership into a sanctuary. May you each find joy not only in being loved, but in loving. Our guardian Srila Sridhar Maharaj taught that real love is self-giving. Marriage flourishes when two people compete not to receive more, but to give more. May your lives be blessed with that spirit of generous affection. Jai. So Jai Saraswati Devi Rasi, we give her all credits for this, but this is something which is the theme of selflessness and self-giving. And anyhow, I was going to say my version, which was a little different, but this will stick with Saraswati's version. Hare Krishna. But mine wasn't, well, you see, you know what Gurudev told? And maybe he's quoting Guru Maharaj. He said that the brahmacharis, they have something missing, heart. That's what he said. Brahmacharis are missing a heart because they don't have that heart relationship, with nature's heart relationship with another. So anyway, Saraswati came out with a heart. So may that couple keep this in their heart. But the idea was that the congregation, the family people, some who are, we know they may be opposed even to Krishna consciousness, but that they can hear something of the message of love and of dedication. So anyhow, I thought I'd read that. It's because it's just from yesterday. The wedding was yesterday. And it does give this idea that in any situation in our life, we want to have this attitude to others. Not only to our wife, to our husband, to our children, but we want to have this attitude to others. So in devotion, family life, we can have this opportunity of devotion, the practice of selflessness, giving, helping. But in the family life, of course, we've got Krishna at the center. The altar is not some hidden place to be ashamed of where we quietly put our food after we cook it before eating it. Our home is Krishna's home, and we need to be the humble servitors there, helping each other and helping our friends and whoever we meet to tell them about Krishna, the land of sweetness. And that is being distributed profusely from Navadip, and especially from, we can say, Antadeep, the appearance place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Yoga Pit. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that most generous manifestation, original Lord, he had his most generous pastimes in Koladeep, that area where our temple is, on that island, the 9 islands of Navadip, of not only forgiving anybody who came to him, but giving them Krishna prema. Hare Krishna.
Hare
And if you don't know any description, if you've never read anything about Krishna prema, well, we've been reading in the evenings, I think you all know, we read in the evenings Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, in the morning Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we read Srila Gurudev every day, Srila Guru Maharaj every day, and Srila Prabhupada's purports. And we've been reading in the evening, like the ecstasy, the joy, the extreme happiness of Navadip Dham with the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his so many pastimes. Just now we've been reading the pastimes in the house of Shuklamba Brahmachari. Shuklamba. Wonderful, wonderful descriptions. Everybody wants happiness. And it's almost unbelievable the kind of ecstatic happiness which the pure devotees feel, experience, share, and give. Jai Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. This is what they are giving to us. Yes, they're living in the temple. Yes, they're living that life. But they're lighting up that cold heart of all of the devotees who come sincerely to inquire with humility and service. Sincere inquiry, humbly, submissively, and seva. This process Krishna has given in Gita, which is quoted all the way through by our masters. Hare Krishna.
There's a nice comment by Paramananda Prabhu Maharaj when you said about the brahmacharis are missing the heart. Oh, sorry. But not Prabhu.
Not Leela Moin. You got a heart? Okay, we'll check it out. See if he's got a heart. We get the stethoscope and see what happens. See if we can hear anything beating. Well, truly, we're happy to have Leela Moy Prabhu here. Who relishes, who's joyful in the company of devotees, who's energetic to help others, to serve. And as Srila Guru Maharaj elsewhere says, a servitor is welcome everywhere. And the service for the Lord, service in the line of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, that is of extreme value. And we are very joyful to know such bright future is coming to those with such aptitude. And Krishna Kanta, Munindra Mohan, all the team here, they're always inviting devotees. Come, stay here for a while. Be here. Be happy. They've made a sanctuary. Or as Guru Maharaj says in the translation that Gurudev gave about Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, he says it is a beautiful retreat. A retreat not in the physical sense where you sit back and be lazy, drink martinis. I mean, also that just sounds so boring to me. You know, somebody's so rich that they can afford, I do nothing, sit back on the beach and drink martini. Oh my goodness, that's kind of a boring thing to do. Hare Krishna. Anyway, please, if you do come here, first correspond with Munindra and Krishna. Don't get me into trouble. And they know also, they're caring about accommodation, etc. And our tiny house, I think we've shown the tiny house before, built by the hands of Munindra and devotees who come. That tiny house is also being occupied now. It's summertime, and it's being used, being utilized. So sometimes there is full house, sometimes space available, but please correspond, keep in touch with Munindra Krishna Kanta. And if you all came at the same time, I'm sure Krishna would provide a solution also. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. Anyway, I'm not going to continue reading this week from that book because we can only digest so much, like having a meal. I mean, whether you have a light meal or a heavy meal, basically, you can only digest so much in the meal, and also appreciate bit by bit as we take that. But also, and I think it was Anna Krishna at the beginning, she showed the front cover of the Portuguese edition of Golden Reflections. So you have this book in Portuguese, and so you can also reread up to where we read today. You can read it again and again. And we will continue next week because it's all about beauty, sweetness, charm. It's all about going home. It's all about adjusting the vision, the angle of vision, adjusting our heart in the right direction. And in one of those kirtans that Bhaktivinoda composed accompanying the Shikshastakam prayers, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making the exemplary prayer. He's teaching us how to pray. The dear Lord, please transfer the affection and attraction I have for material things, which we know we have. Please transfer that to your lotus feet. If I have that same attraction for you, I think I'll be in a good place. So, this way we're always being guided for our heart. And our heart, if you've been listening, if you've been following the Bhagavad Gita programs and the other programs coming out of London, then you'll understand that the body, the mind of the body, the senses, the mind, and even the intelligence are material. It's the heart which is the substance, and that means the conscious heart, the affectionate heart, that which needs, is longing for affection, longing for this affectionate guardianship that Guru Maharaj said just now, some so beautiful words, so beautifully expressed. Home, this is Guru Maharaj. Home is there where the environment will take care of us, of our fortune and of our comfort, independent of our consideration. The affectionate paraphernalia there will help us very affectionately and lovingly. So we should make good use of this opportunity to go back to God, back to home, our sweet, sweet home. And does anybody know? Just put up a hand if you know. Does anybody know the name of God that means that He is the embodiment of beauty, sweetness, love, and affection? Nobody. One out of 30 people attending. 2 out of 30 know a name of God, know His name. 3, okay, 1 or 2, it's being transmitted heart to heart to heart. And what about you? Okay, put up a hand too. What is His name? What is God's name? Reality, the beautiful, affection, charm, love. What could that name of God be?
Krishna.
Okay.
Krishna.
Krishna. It's not a trick question. Hare Krishna. I'm very bad, and they'll tell you that also, because during the classes and our readings and things we do in the temple, I keep asking them things, and then kind of wake up and to wake up to water them, because we're reading something and it's so beautiful. But we like to be able to read and have somebody listen with heart. But we all get caught out, I know. And the thing is, karma comes back and forward. So, you know, I'll get my karma come back to me too. And look, a little kitty cat which has a heart and claws. We don't have cats here in the temple, but our neighbors have cats. And they're so cute, so sweet and everything. But then in the garden, you see that they're out there. And maybe it breaks their heart. But whenever I see the cats, I say, oh, look, there's your killer cat. You know, coming, because in nature is to kill things. So this is all part of nature. Oh dear. Yes, Mukunda Prabhu, here we are. Okay, when we asked who out of us here do actually live in the temple and serve the deity. And here's Mukunda Prabhu in South Africa. Yes, Prabhu, Dandavat, I see your digital hand is up. How can we serve?
My pranam Dandavat Maharaj, and to all our Vaishnavas. My humble apologies for not showing my disgusting face, but I'm busy in servitude. So I rather not. As the Prabhu was saying, it's very difficult living outside of the temple and trying to serve. But from my own personal experience, living inside the temple, we also have some service. And this comes to my question, or maybe some advice from you. Now, I find it so difficult to keep the enthusiasm. And we know that enthusiasm is one of the 6 qualities of surrender, that we must be enthusiastic to preach. And I find it so difficult that I know this nectar, the sweetness, and it is so tasty and so beautiful. And yet when I'm preaching, I do not find that it's been accepted. So I do some introspection and think, okay, I know there is no problem with the substance because this is of such sweetness, that it must be the vessel that it's been given in. So then maybe it is my own ego that I'm serving in my preaching, or maybe it is my own false ego. Then I always try to do some introspection and try to ensure that what I am preaching is coming from our Guru Varga, coming from Gurudev, coming from Guru Maharaj. Tell me from your own experience, always listening to your talks, it is so good to see your enthusiasm. How do you keep enthusiastic when you see that your preaching is not being reciprocated with this excitement and eagerness that you have tasted the sweetness and now you want to share the sweetness with others, but somehow they don't feel so excited about it?
Well, Prabhu, keep on going. Our duty is to share, and the result is up to Krishna. And so we cannot just stop if we don't see a result coming immediately. And we don't even know the result of our sharing Krishna consciousness, because we know ourselves, and I am also such a person, that who first gave some idea of Krishna consciousness, I never met, because somebody was distributing books, and I just got a rejected book that is given to somebody else. But I'm grateful to that person who was preaching and distributing books. And so we don't know who has come to Krishna consciousness. And by the way, there are devotees in ISKCON. Am I allowed to say ISKCON? Yes, why not? And anyway, there are devotees in ISKCON who said to me, actually, I came to Krishna consciousness after attending one of your lectures. And so he joined into ISKCON, which is fine. Coming to Krishna consciousness, where Krishna will draw us, where he'll draw us to. But the point is, I would never know that if he hadn't told me that. And so the result is not in our hand. We are simply to share. And on your computer, you can see here 30 devotees, actually more than 30, because some have got more than one in the window. So we've got participating, we've got a gathering of like-minded devotees. So we can get encouragement from each other and know that we're not alone in the world. We're not crazy. We're actually doing the right thing. And just because it's not accepted on a mass scale at the moment, doesn't mean it's the wrong thing. Right and wrong has all been given by Mahaprabhu. Like you said, the teaching is perfect. And we will always consider we are an imperfect vessel, an imperfect carrier of that. But still we've been told, whatever we know, not to make things up, but but to what we understand and feel and know, we will share that with others. And once you get one person, two persons, three persons, some friends who will come to join you, you'll get more life also, because you'll be sharing what you know of the good life, and they will be getting nourished. And as Guru Maharaj also in the short reading today said, the speaker is nourished and the hearer is nourished. The giver is nourished and the receiver is nourished. So it is, Krishna consciousness is an all-win, really, situation. Whereas in the regular world, somebody is exploiting somebody else. So someone gets an increase in their paycheck because they found a way of squeezing money out of more people to put into the bank this way. So somebody's losing and someone's getting. But the beauty of Krishna consciousness is that everybody is gaining. Even what we eat, every body, cabbage body, potato body, mango body, everybody is benefiting. What to speak of the human bodies who get to learn some tips on how to change their heart to melt for Krishna. And that melting will come through the devotees and through the scripture. So Mukunda Prabhu, keep on going. Do your best. Krishna's given you the facility of the temple room, good cooks, kitchen, big kitchen, and all sorts of things. All facilities are there. And so now you don't have to worry about so many things except to share what you know with others, to introduce. And what are we doing? We're introducing others to Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada. This is our duty. It's not our property. And we are happy that you found the Brazil Zoom, Mukunda Prabhu. I don't know how you find it, but somehow or another you got inside information and you found the Brazil Zoom. So I'm sure the Brazilians are happy to have you here too.
They have found me, Maharaj. I have no intelligence to find anything. It is only by Krishna's mercy that they have found me.
Oh, Krishna brought you together. Fate. Let's see. All right, dear devotees, I appreciate this suggestion of Sri Hari Prabhu, and that we do read, and that this book, this Golden Reflections, let us take bit by bit, and let us remember, and each day for the next 7 days, remember what we've heard up till now, because as I said, it's everything practically. We've already got everything, and we're going to get everything plus everything plus everything over the coming weeks.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for being with us and for sharing and giving us such inspiration. So, Jaya Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki.
Hare Krishna. Are you going to do the real jais? Okay, or you want me to do them? Oh. Really, the jais, and this is, I mean, it's reality. The jais are to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakhak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and to the whole Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga. Look at the names in that Guru Vaga. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gokishoras Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj, and going up to all the acharyas one by one, to Rupa Goswami, to Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, all those great Goswamis. And then, has anyone heard the name of Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu? Hare Krishna and Veera Chandra. There are so many in the super category. And it is to all of them we give our jais, and to Nama Acharya, Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, and to all the present day distributors of this message, the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Golden Reflections ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Oh, Gauranath Raj Prabhu looks so cold in Lalita, but here we are, nice and warm here in Italy. Now is summer, your winter, our summer. Just see, the world has variety everywhere. Indina Bandhu Prabhu been with us. I was sitting under a tree all this time in the shade. Beautiful. All right, one by one, all the devotees, Paramananda Prabhu, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, all joining from distant places to be in Brazil with you, in distant time zones too. And everybody, our humble obeisances and appreciation. Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari. You were so noisy today. Next time we'll make a bit of space. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj, and Anu Krishna Devirasi. We appreciate very much that you're able to do the simultaneous translation, and then the flow is a little easier to keep going. Maybe, I hope we are speaking correctly and sense. We try to. That's all I can say. Have a successful week, everyone. Only in the direction of going home of sweetness. Amara Ashchi. You all stay together. Continue for the next 24 hours on Zoom. No problem at all. We'll meet you again soon. Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari.